amongst all of the chaos, he was like calm the entire way through the movie. There was not one point, like he was just like whipping out like cans of beers, just handing them over, like, yeah, no worries.
You've just been through a traumatic experience, here's your beer.
Yep. Welcome back to No Bad Seats. We are the Regent Cinemas podcast, talking about movies and movie news each week. My name is Luke.
And I'm Sam.
And we just saw another movie.
We did.
We absolutely did.
It was great.
It was great.
We had a great time. We've got good coffee. We've got great movies.
You've spoiled the end of the podcast. They
sorry.
already know what our opinion was.
I'm sorry.
Well,
it's got to happen.
And I've already noticed, going into the analytics, our drop-off rate is here. They're like, all right, they loved it.
They gave it to us. Done.
Boom,
Get out
done.
of here.
Yep. So now we don't need to hear.
But I didn't tell them about the horrific ending that I hated.
Ah, yes. Or the twist.
The twist.
Things that didn't
Are we talking
exist
about
in
the
this
movie or the podcast?
Ah, the twist in the podcast. We are back talking movies as we always do, each week delivering fresh content, just like Woolworths, but for content. Movie content.
The fresh content people. The new slogan.
The fresh movie people.
Yes, that's it.
Eat moo. Nope, that doesn't work.
Eat moo.
Tried to make it Subway.
Did not work.
Did not work. We're working on a new slogan. We'll figure that out soon. Anyway, so I got some movie news for you this week. I mean, we're just going to jump straight into it. Movie news. There's been a lot of things happening, but we're going to start with. Let's start with some small ones. You know, small ones that aren't too small. One that is very exciting, great for Australian cinema, is that we have another movie that just went into production, major Hollywood production, went into production in Queensland. We have Godzilla and Kong Supernova, just kicked off this week.
Excellent.
Filming in
Did they
Queensland.
film the other ones here?
I know they filmed at least the last two,
Yeah,
Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah.
Was there a subtitle in that movie, Godzilla and Kong?
Something
I think it was
Empire?
just New Empire.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought there was an Empire in there.
I missed the one where they fought each other, but then the one where they became friends, I did catch.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
This doesn't sound like a Godzilla movie, but yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I caught might have been the one where they fought.
Yeah, okay, so you missed...
And it was good.
You missed the friendship. Yeah, I've heard good things. I don't know why. I actually watched... I watched Godzilla and I watched Kong and I watched Godzilla 2 in anticipation of Godzilla vs. Kong, and then I never saw Godzilla vs. Kong, and then New Empire was coming out, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just watch that because I work here. So
because New Empire's the one with like the baby Kong and like in Kong's world, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that one yet. I should get around to it because I really enjoyed Godzilla vs. Kong. It was like much better than I expected it to be.
I've heard great things about Monarch as well.
Yeah, okay. That's the TV series,
which is the TV series with Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell. Why did I think? I was going to say Sam Wyatt, but like,
Wyatt Russell is
Wyatt Russell,
Kurt Russell's son.
Kurt Russell's son, yeah, and that's why it's the whole thing. But apparently, it's very good. But yeah, that started filming in Queensland, so it's always nice to see some Australian productions.
We've had a few big movies. They're currently filming Street Fighter up there at the moment as well.
Yes, yeah.
So like, there's a big,
and
few big
had like there's
blockbusters that
Voltron. Voltron just finished filming. Henry Cavill was living on the Gold Coast for 6 months while they filmed that.
Yeah, right. Wasn't aware of that one.
So yeah, that's not long finished. I think that finished 3 or 4 months ago. So yeah, it's cool to see that they're doing these major productions, with us. Not that
especially after the whole US government and their we're going to lay tariffs onto movies and make it so that you can only film in the US and all this garbage they went on with. It's nice to see that they still getting stuff at the moment, for the time being at least.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of those are
it continues.
more words than they are actual actions. So
Yeah.
let's keep it that way.
Yep, that's it. All right, next one. This is a good one because we've covered this film.
Okay.
Weapons.
Yes.
Zach Cregger, he announced that there was another film within this universe coming out.
I think I did see this one.
By wiping the S off the board. Weapon, an Aunt Gladys prequel.
Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah,
right.
Weapon. So yeah, Aunt Gladys is getting a prequel, and we're finding out about the original weapon.
She is a bit of a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to admit, I'm not super on board with this one.
Okay. Why is that?
This falls into those the category of movies where I like to sort of think of them as it just doesn't need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the mystery and intrigue of not having it actually adds more to the story than having it.
I think there's always a risk with these films where it's like, it could add lore and add all these things that then by default add context to weapons and make weapons better to watch, but it also could completely miss the mark, and we don't know until it happens. But by not doing it at all,
this is true.
It's, you know, it's a gamble regardless. By not doing it at all, we have weapons which we love, and it stands on its own, but it could be made better or worse by weapon.
Yeah, definitely. Is Zach Cregger involved?
Yes.
Apart from being just a producer?
I believe he's writing, directing.
Okay.
I think it's
I'm a bit more on board with
project.
that. Yeah, okay. I can get more on board with that, that it's the same filmmaker returning and everything like that. Because once you sort of change over, that's when I feel like things get a bit muddled up.
And then it's like, we take this IP that has done well, and now it's like, all right, yeah, we're going to do whatever we want with it.
It's a little bit like the Conjuring universe.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's some hits in there.
Mm-hmm. Conjuring Last Rites in cinemas now.
Yes. Not sure if it's a hit. I haven't watched it yet. But there's some of those standalone films in the Conjuring universe are great.
Mm-hmm.
Annabelle Creation, the second one, surprisingly, was really good. But then there's some in there that are just the type of movie you've forgotten about straight away. And I think that's, like you said, that's the big risk of what you're running with these. That it can just fall flat, and then and it might go under the rug. No one thinks about it, no one cares about it, and they still go, hey, Weapons was great. So
I think it comes down to the filmmaker, and if the filmmaker then steps away from what the IP is and lets the studio do with it what they want, and you bring in new filmmakers and you bring in new people, it doesn't always work. It can be incredible. Yeah. Think Alien, Ridley Scott, James Cameron, Aliens. But is it always the case? No.
Yes, exactly. I think also one thing for me personally is I don't know if I can watch her on screen much more.
Yeah, she was a lot.
She was a lot, and I don't know how ready for that I am.
Well, you still got a couple of years to prepare.
True.
Well, the way they go with these horror films,
exposure therapy.
I'll
watch Weapons like
probably
42 times between there.
Yeah.
217 times I'll watch it between now and then.
Yes.
Keeping with Easter eggs of the movie.
Absolutely. I think it was 214 though.
So it was 2:17 a.m.
2:17 or 2:14? I can't remember.
We'll have to find out.
God damn.
I think it was 2:17 because it's the original number of the Shining room before they changed it for the movie.
Okay. All right. Yep.
I read that one.
I concede.
I read that one in an interview the other day, and I was like, huh, interesting.
So,
next movie news.
Next bit of movie news. This one landed on us really quickly this week. Taylor Swift, the release party of a showgirl in cinemas.
I mean, I even sent this to you.
Yeah, it landed real quick. We sort of found out the whole thing was embargoed, really under lock and key. Found out, and it was like, cool, this is happening. You can tell them later, go.
Yeah.
And start getting prepared. And it was like, oh, cool. So like my whole day was Taylor Swift at that point. Yeah. So it's always good to see though.
Yeah.
These in-cinema experiences, I don't think there's a lot of artists that they work for, but Taylor Swift is definitely one that they do. There is a huge audience for her. There is a huge audience for her experiences no matter what. So it's always nice to see we get people reaching out about it. We get people messaging us, do you have this coming in? Are you getting it? When are tickets going on sale? And commenting, tagging their friends. And this happens with some movies. And it's always exciting when it's a big movie that people are really excited about and messaging us and talking about. But when Taylor Swift comes out, you know that people are on it. Like, I had a message about it before
it got announced.
Before it had got announced, and I had no idea what the person who messaged me, I literally was out for walking my dog and I had a message. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And of course, I haven't seen the news at all. So, like, I'm going,
like, whoa, let me get back in there.
What is this? And then finding out later. So
interesting. So I don't know much about, I haven't read too much into this. What is it
another
concert film?
I don't believe so. So it's her new album's coming out.
Yes.
And I believe it's like a watch party, listening party type
Maybe
situation
like
where it's like on cinemas, like in cinemas, listening through the album for the first time.
Oh, okay.
But additionally, there are some visuals, so I think there's at least one video clip that is getting debuted on the big screen. So it won't be able to be released until after, which is really cool. Yeah, so we've got that going in gold class. We've got it in IMAX. It's a big event, and it's always nice to see. Like, it's just a good experience, I think. I didn't watch all of it, but I did see some of the Eras tour when we were setting that up.
Because it went nuts. There was lots of people here for that.
It did go nuts. You know, to the point where people were like getting onto us about popcorn buckets and stuff like that as well, which, you know, because that was so quick, they got delayed coming into the country. Like it was like stuck at customs because it was sort of like a week between announcement and it coming out, and then real quick, like all these like things happening because you're trying to put all the pieces together. But yeah, so Taylor Swift release party with Showgirl next week, October 4th. 5th.
Oh, that quick?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Tickets are on sale, and they're already going really quickly. Hotcakes.
I can imagine.
So yeah, it's nice. I know I've had to organise my Saturday night off so that my wife can go and attend as a Swiftie, which is it's always nice to have something like that, you know, for her. So yeah.
No, excellent.
All right, here's the big one.
The big one. Okay.
The big one. Actually, no, I've got one more. But this is pretty big.
We're going to need a bigger podcast.
We're going to need a bigger podcast. There is a biopic in the works about Macho Man Randy Savage being produced by Kenan Thompson from SNL.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Sit with that.
On board. Done. Spoiler alert, I'll be there.
Mm-hmm. Now, can we have Kenan playing Macho Man Randy Savage? Probably not, but I'd like to see it.
Why not? Let's do it.
But apparently he is a Macho Man superfan.
Okay.
And has just backed this project and is making it happen.
Excellent.
So there you go.
Yeah, I'm fully on board.
Honestly, I'm on board with anything Kenan does. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I always loved him on SNL. I think he's great. So
I just remember the Nickelodeon Kenan and Kel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Childhood.
There you go. I never saw it.
Oh no.
So I know him.
It was like kids SNL, I guess, in a way. Like it really was. They had like skits and all that type of stuff, but it was like Nickelodeon. So they were like, we're just going to aim this
really targeted.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Big news of the week.
Hit me.
This was announced this morning. Very excited about it. I mean, I feel like I'm setting this up as really big news. It is very big news to me because there is some news.
Okay.
Denis Villeneuve is looking in 2026, once he's completed production on Dune Part 3, he's going straight into looking for an unknown British actor.
Oh, what could that be?
That's my news.
Unknown.
That to me says Tom Holland, out. Rumours of Tom Holland, out. Thank God. Harris Dickinson, out. Jacob Elordi, out.
Yep.
Those were the three names that were being thrown around. Thank God.
Aaron Taylor-Johnson was thrown around for a long time.
Yeah, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Henry Cavill, Idris Elba, they've been thrown around for a long time pre anything. Like before Bond was sold to Amazon, before they announced that Denis Villeneuve was doing the next film.
Yep.
Before anything, they were going, eventually we know a Bond film's going to happen. Henry Cavill's being discussed. Aaron Taylor-Johnson's being discussed. Idris Elba's being discussed. Idris Elba then debunked it and said, I'm not being discussed.
Some of them felt just way too on the nose.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill being one. I love Cavill. I think he's a great actor. And I'm not saying he wouldn't play Bond perfectly. He's got the mannerisms, everything.
Yeah.
He also cannot blend in. Henry Cavill walks into a room and it's Henry Cavill. Do you know what I mean?
Like, but I mean, I feel like it just depends on the style you're going for with Bond. I feel like Bond...
But Bond should be able to blend in. That's the biggest thing.
Yes and no. Like, I feel like if you look at Pierce Brosnan, he's got that same energy as Pierce Brosnan to me. Like, I see that and go, Cavill...
But you've got like a 3 foot wide Henry Cavill walking into a room like
Yeah, but
this.
I don't think he necessarily need to be like that.
Oh, no.
Like, he's bulked for major roles. I don't think he's...
He's like stayed pretty consistently bulked
Yeah,
since
but
Superman though.
But he's also been doing like The Witcher.
Yeah,
and he's
true.
been doing like, I mean, he probably didn't need it for Sherlock Holmes, but he was doing The Witcher.
Yeah.
And then he's doing Voltron, and then he's doing what's the other nerd thing that he's doing?
I am not sure.
Warhammer.
Oh, yes,
40K. So he's doing all these things that require big armor, big muscle. I think if he went Bond, he could pull it back. However, to me, I don't see Henry Cavill, like I would love Henry Cavill to be Bond. I don't see it happening. I think he's got the charm and the suave to pull it off. But to me, I look at him and go, if you're going to be that role, do Archer. Do a live action Archer and just be live action Archer and get to have fun with it. And then just have H. John Benjamin dub the voice. And that's what I want to see.
Okay.
And
that's a perfect pitch.
Yeah,
You need to pitch that to a studio.
There you go. Henry Cavill, H. John Benjamin dubbing the voice. Get everybody back. Live action Archer movie. Yes, please.
Cool.
But
done.
I think going for an unknown British actor, much better choice. I feel like they're going to go young. I feel like it's going to be...
They want to have legs in it.
And
I think that's the biggest thing is that they ran into with Daniel Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people, I don't think, realise that Daniel Craig taking on Bond was a relative unknown. Had obviously had a few movies that had done well and things like that.
You know, though, that it got down to Cavill and... Do you know about this? That
Yeah,
it got
yeah.
down. It was go the older option or the younger option, and they went the older option with Daniel Craig. But the fact that Henry Cavill had been down, it got down to the two, and that got into the trades was how he started getting meetings. Because people go, oh, he's a name now.
Yes.
Because he got down to the last two with Bond. Cool. And that's how he started getting Hollywood meetings.
I think it would have been, even if he had got it then, I think it would have been the wrong time for him. I don't think it, I think he was too young for it because the roles that he was taking on around that time, you could see that he wasn't fully there yet.
Yeah.
And whereas now he has a screen presence. He takes over and you're like,
That's
whoa.
Cavill. Yeah.
Daniel Craig taking on that, like one of his biggest movies back then was Layer Cake, which is not a massive movie. Brilliant movie, but not a massive movie. So him coming on, and then this is what I'm getting to the fact that an unknown doesn't mean someone completely.
No.
It could be
He's
still
not a
someone
megastar.
like. I mean, it could still be someone like Harris Dickinson, because there's. I'm not here for that casting, but there's a lot of people that have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
Even Theo James was another name that got thrown around.
Yeah, I like that.
I could possibly see him in the role.
Yeah.
I think he does. In the Gentleman TV series, he was like
Yeah.
fantastic. So he definitely could pull off the role. Probably a little bit more of a name than some of the others, but
Patrick Gibson was the one that I, like, if we're going young, Patrick Gibson is, I think, the voice and likeness of the Bond video game that's coming out.
Yep.
First Light. He played Dexter in the young Dexter in the original Sin, which was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. His mannerisms were perfect. He was so good in it. The show got renewed and then cancelled in the merger with Skydance, Paramount and Skydance.
Yes.
When that happened, they reviewed everything and then it cancelled it. I want to say posthumously, but it was already renewed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it got cancelled after it was already renewed, which is such a shame because the cast was great. My issue with going with Bond being young is that I think where they go well with Daniel Craig, it's like he's obviously already been an agent. He's done espionage work for years and years and years, and now he's a 00.
Yeah.
He's earned this 00 status because he had to be, what, early 40s?
I think somewhere around that when he took the role.
He took the role, and then he had a run of movies
which is like
for
30s in Hollywood.
for like 15 years, right?
Yeah.
So he's done that, which is pretty significant. I think he was 49 when he finished. Now, granted, we got 5 movies in 15 years. Like, that's pretty reasonable.
That's pretty good, really.
But
I mean,
if they want
we've got
legs,
3 good
it's like,
ones, but
what's the law? Like, what do we look at with Bond and say, where should he be becoming 007?
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm interested to see where they go with it because of that. Because it's going to be, I think, hopefully something we haven't seen. I don't necessarily want to see the same old, walks into a room, hi Q, like knows everyone. I'd like to see a bit more of a fresher take, maybe a little bit earlier on, maybe just getting his 00 status or something like that. Could be really cool, and then being introduced.
But that's what I mean. Like, we've got the 00 status. We've had him just getting his 00 status in Casino Royale. So that was establishing that he only got that at this point. What I'm saying is, do we age down what it takes to get the 00 status so that they can fit in a younger cast? I don't know. That's what they've got to consider.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, give Patrick Gibson. I mean, he's not British. He's not English. He's Welsh, which
he's going to annoy some people there.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. I suppose it's like British Isles is what they're probably saying, which Welsh fits into that category, right?
We're getting into dangerous territory.
Yeah,
here.
I don't know. Is that
as a partner to an English person? This is dangerous territory.
Okay, well then, as a partner to an English person, you need to explain this because I believe they're looking for someone from the British Isles.
Okay.
Does Wales fall into that?
So what I know of Wales to English people is that it is considered pretty much how we consider New Zealanders. Not in a bad way, like anything like that, but the same jokes are made about Welsh people that they are as New Zealanders.
So
sheep included.
Sheep included,
yes.
All right, so then what you're saying is they don't consider it as part of I don't know, I suppose like we have some partnership
There's
in
still
the
a very
Anzac-y type way,
it's not like
Australasia.
I'm trying to think of it. Is it Scotland or Ireland that's like, no, we are not. I think it's Ireland.
I think it's Ireland.
They're like, no,
we could go into some detail on that. Like there's the British, the whole, British North and all of that.
It's not that far removed.
Yeah.
I think it's just more the jokey friendship that we have like with New Zealanders.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, it could definitely still...
But British Isles, I suppose it's United Kingdom, isn't it? Is all of that. So it's like, does that count? I guess it does. So maybe Patrick Gibson could be ticked. Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm sure that Denis Villeneuve, as a Frenchman, is going to look at that entire area of the world and be like, yeah, you're all the same. Because I'm sure that the Brits and the French have that same relationship.
They've got issues too. Yeah. I do like that some of the actors that were being considered, that were American, Australian, all said, don't consider me.
Put a Brit in.
Yeah. And I think that was like, good job. Yeah. Like, thank you.
Absolutely.
There's so many more roles that you can get as an American for like American
everything else,
known heroes and stuff like that. Leave this one to the Brits.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, speaking of Americans,
yes,
one of our favorite Americans, Leonardo DiCaprio, absolutely phenomenal actor, and one battle after another. Yeah. Is his latest film, and we saw it this morning.
We did.
I cannot even begin to explain how much I love this film. Like, honestly, there has been a handful of 5-star films for me this year.
Yep.
Sinners was one of them. F1 was one of them. And I think this has jumped into like my top 3 for the year. I think this is up there with Sinners and F1. I'm going to have to revisit all 3 of them before the year is out to decide which takes the top place. But I just thought this was so good.
Yeah, I'm fully on there with you. Easy 5-star. Just brilliant. There's so much that happens. And I think that was my biggest part of it is like, it's what, how long was it? 160?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
2 hours and 40 minutes. It feels like a 90-minute movie.
Yeah, it flies.
The start, I felt not dragged, but the start took a little while to get going.
I think the first, I noticed when there was a transition point.
Yep.
I looked at my watch and we were about an hour into the film. So it sort of feels like the first hour of the film is
it's building a
lot.
It's
like a prequel, or not a prequel. It's like the prologue of the film is the first hour.
Yeah, I mean it takes a while even for
the
world
title
building to come in.
Yeah, world building, context, setup, all of this stuff that happens. It's all very exciting. Like, it's not slow in any way. It starts you right in the action.
Yeah, but then when you hit that transition point,
but once that transition point happens,
it's like pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
Go, 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 and there's so much happening,
100%.
and you're just taken along for the ride. It's Leo is fantastic, as he always is. Like, when is he not fantastic, really? my favorite performance in it is Benicio del Toro.
Oh, he's so funny.
He's so good as the sensei, and just like every now and then, like he's like handing over a rifle, and he's like just holds it there for a few seconds.
Just does all these like, all these little things that tie in with his role as the sensei. Yeah, he was so good in it. I thought he was really fun in his role, and I loved how, amongst all of the chaos, he was like calm the entire way through the movie. There was not one point like he was just like whipping out like cans of beers, just handing them over, like, no worries. Cool,
You've just been through a traumatic experience. Here's your beer.
Yep, no worries. Oh, and he's like, the police, put this in your backpack so they don't see it.
Yeah. There's just so much to chew on in the film, and I think that's what's great. Like Sean Penn as well.
Yep.
I don't even know how to describe his role. I want to say horrific, but then other parts are hilarious. The man is a power of like greatness. Like just his facial expressions when he sat there. He has this like weird little tick he does, and I was just like, what's he about to do? Like, it's creepy, but also hilarious and just absurd.
Yes.
A lot of the things and like expressions he pulls in the movie. One thing that I think probably won't get mentioned a lot in here is some of the stunt work.
Yep.
There's a particular scene where Leo is running across a rooftop.
Yep.
And he takes a fall. And obviously, I mean, it's not Leo. I would hope it's not. It is done as a oneer, though.
It's done as a oneer, and that was the thing that I noticed. It's in the dark. He falls probably 3 stories, hits a tree, lands on the ground, face first, gets up, walks right in front of the camera, and like looks around, and then keeps running.
Yeah.
And it's very obviously him. So I'd be curious as to how they did that, because it doesn't feel like something that Leo should have done.
Yeah.
But I don't see where they...
I mean, he's not Tom Cruise. If it was Tom Cruise, I'd be like, that's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that's Tom Cruise.
But Leo, I'm like, how did you do this? Like, it could have been done with like a double and then...
maybe CGI.
Just cutting those 2 shots together or something like that. But it doesn't feel like it. No. It doesn't feel like there's any Texas switch. Like there's no part where the camera moves away and then comes back and all of a sudden Leo's there. Like, it's a tracking one-off.
You literally see fall, land, stand, walk towards the camera, Leo's face. So to me, that was Leo.
Yeah, it was so good though.
How did they do that?
It was a perfect break in that scene too.
Yeah.
That like going through that scene, and I was like, oh yeah, like we're running away, and then all of a sudden that happened, and I was like, oh, wow.
So on that and requiring a break, music played a huge part in this film. I noticed, I think at one point I leaned over to you and said, oh, did you hear the music change?
Yeah.
Something was going on, and then all of a sudden, the chase was sort of starting to pick up, and the music changed completely, and it was like this weird like dun 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 like thing happening with the piano, and that was like tense in itself.
Yeah.
But then that went for like half an hour, and it just ran and ran and ran and ran the entire way through, and it was like building the tension for this entire point. Really driving that whole, the whole moment of tension with this chase that was happening.
Yeah. And there's a few instances of that in the film, I thought. So even in that opening like prologue, there was a piece of music that went for a really long time, and again, sort of building.
It was like looping and building.
Yeah. Yep. And then towards the end, there's a bit of a car chase that happens, and it kind of felt like it was going for a long time, but it was all tension building. Like, there's not any point where I was like, oh, come on, let's get on with this. I was like, what's going to happen? Like, you're just on the edge of your seat waiting to be like, what is happening here? Like, where are we going? Like
the car chase. So let's just, without getting into too much detail on it, one of my favorite shots of the film, they must have rigged these cameras to the front of the cars, and they had all of these scenes where you were just in...
I'm pretty sure it's like a pretty well-known road in America.
Arizona or
just like
Texas or, that sort of southern Mexico border area. And it was all these like really like dipping roads and that sort of thing. And they had these scenes where the cars were driving over the roads and then going down and then back up and then down. And all you were seeing was the road basically directly as it was going over. And the one thing that I found, it was really like a roller coaster, I guess, but it was like you kept expecting to see something pop up over the hill as you went over the hills. But it almost like caused you to unconsciously hold your breath to find out what was happening. I thought that was my favorite shots of the film, was just these moments of oh, okay, we're going down. Okay, we're going down. And something happened. I thought that was brilliant, the way that they did that.
And I think peppered throughout the film, there's some really brilliant shots. Some of the ones that really called out to me was when the military group's coming in and they've got the camera rigged in the helicopter, and the helicopter just does this big bank, and you just see all of the landscape behind them move, and the guys in the helicopter just sort of holding on as they go around the thing. Another one I particularly loved was, I can't remember her name, the character's name, but it was something like Lavidia Beverly Hills something. Big long name. But her, 9 months pregnant, massive machine gun, just
Which it's on this, that was a shot in the trailer,
Yes, and it's on this beautiful wide angle, almost feels like a Wes Anderson, almost kind of frame, and it's just absurd. And it looks
then
brilliant.
The dialogue straight after it, I feel like Tony Montana. Brilliant.
It's so good.
That whole thing was great. And I think the dialogue was another one. This movie is hilarious.
Yes. Yeah.
This was so funny, and it wasn't even they're making jokes, this is funny. It was so played up. There were so many moments that were over the top, we are actively trying to make this really ridiculous. And really funny. And it succeeded in every sense of the word. I thought it was so funny.
It was a lot funnier than I expected it to be. So watching the trailer, there's little hints of comedy in there, like Leo losing his mind and going nuts and things like that.
But things you expect to see from this sort of film.
Yes.
This had a lot of stuff that I was okay, well, the dial for humor in this sort of film is normally a 5 or 6, and it's designed for that. Where it's okay, these breaks, these moments that sort of break the tension with a bit of humor and a bit of this was full moments of dialogue that is delivered completely sincerely, that is so ridiculous that you can't help but laugh. We were actively laughing out loud for a lot of scenes.
Yes, I think a lot of the ones with Leo on the phone provided just some comedic gold moments. Another thing, I want to get a little bit nerdy with you for a minute.
Please.
So this was shot with VistaVision cameras. VistaVision, traditional 35mm film, runs through a camera vertically. So the film comes in and down through the gate and rolls like that. So VistaVision is where they have taken that and basically turned it on its side, so you get a larger frame. And it gives a bit of a larger than life feel to it. So some of those, you would have noticed that things look a bit different to a traditional movie. Not vastly different, there's just a different feel to it. And I think it was
just almost like big squared shots, sort of felt like.
Reasonably, you get a bit of a wider field of view, so you get, it's almost like IMAX, but it's not quite IMAX. IMAX is a very tall frame. It's not quite as tall, but it's still, it's larger. And it gives you that really immersive feel. So when you're with someone, you're right in there with them. And that's why some of those wide shots with the machine gun and that feel so vast. It feels like this weirdly wide frame, but you're still close to the person as they're and I just think it was a great use of the format. The cinematographer on this hasn't done a lot else. I think he did, what was the movie I said? Licorice Pizza. With PTA. And a couple of other movies, did some American Horror Story episodes and things like that. But brilliant job on this. This looked beautiful.
I totally agree. I thought, not even understanding to that extent, there's a feeling that you get watching this film where it does, it is encompassing.
Yes.
And I thought that really, it really popped. And a lot of these sequences, as you mentioned, the scene with the rifle, fantastic. But there are a lot of these wide, and particularly shots that are in the desert, where it's Leo in the red dressing gown against a orange backdrop, blue sky. They do really pop.
Yeah.
There is one actual shot too that I thought was gorgeous, where it's big canyon sort of space.
Yep.
With the two cars on either side,
yep.
and it was just like the two men meeting in the middle, two cars either side of the frame. Big canyon,
You still had that little bit of blue sky over the top.
Like
it was
just really, really nicely framed. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was a masterclass. There's a lot of this in it, a lot of stuff in the film that just is a masterclass.
Yeah.
It's like perfect cinematography, perfect directing, perfect acting. Like it's really hit a lot of the marks for this one.
You understand, I'm sure you agree, why critics are calling this one a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can say
the
anything
hype is
like
real
negative.
on this one, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's interesting. It's like, this is a film that, the trailer came out a couple of months ago. Leo's in it, so I'm like, cool, I'll see it, whatever this is. And I watched the trailer, and I thought it looked great, looked like heaps of fun. Didn't really understand what the film was about, left it at that. Didn't watch another trailer.
Yeah.
But I feel like the marketing on this hasn't been too heavy, so I don't really know how much people actually know about this film. But what I would say is, if you watch the first trailer, maybe, or just trust us if you haven't seen it. Just trust us. This is one of those films, if you like Leo, high tension, good humor, great acting, definitely worth checking out. And yeah, it's super engaging. It'll grab you from the start.
Yeah, I think it's well worth the cinema experience too, because of that Vista vision and that immersive feeling in it, and then the sound too. Just like
the music elements, as I said, it sort of sits in you. You can feel that.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the time some of these types of films can feel a little bit lost on the big screen, but this one hits.
Yeah,
this one's great. Like I said, that just real immersive feeling, everything like that, great, and perfect performances.
Absolutely.
Such a great time.
So that's one battle after another. Definitely worth checking out on the big screen. 5-star movie from me. It's going into my top 3 for the year. So do with that what you will, but go see it. Is what I'll say.
Definitely, it's a contender for me in my probably top 3 at the moment, top 5 even.
There you go.
Yeah, well worth your time.
All right. So this week there was a bit of controversy with Trump and Jimmy Kimmel, and I had heard there was going to be a Mandalorian Grogu trailer drop, and then Disney had to delay it because of all the Trump and
Jimmy
Jimmy
lost billions of dollars.
Yeah, and all of that went on. So Trump denying that they were always going to fire him and had nothing to do with the negative things that he said, but then they bring him back, and then Trump's like, hold on a moment, they told me they were firing him, and then it's like, okay, so you were involved. Anyway, let's move on from that. What we're here
we're not here to talk politics.
What we're here for is the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer did drop almost as a distraction technique a couple of days later.
Did it distract us?
It distracted. The thing with The Mandalorian and Grogu, I'm a huge Star Wars guy. Love The Mandalorian, have watched all of the Disney Star Wars. My general rule of thumb is not every Star Wars has to be perfect, but I'm going to watch and love Star Wars in general. Now, I can appreciate when it doesn't live up to it, or I don't maybe want to revisit it the same way that I do other Star Wars. But The Mandalorian is one that has for a while been pretty great. Now, when they announced that The Mandalorian and Grogu was going to be the film that was coming out in 2026, first Star Wars film on the big screen since 2019, it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, cool.
Come back strong.
Come back strong. My concern with it was, as much as I like this, is it going to feel like a TV streaming movie? The issue with big budget streaming TV shows now is that we've put all of this big budget into it. They still don't look great, but they do look better than TV did look. So
they've built halfway the bridge, bridging the gap.
Yeah.
It's halfway there.
Yeah, so one of the things with TV streaming these days is that they have put a lot of bigger budgets into it, and they've sort of built. It looks better than TV did.
Yeah.
And it looks closer to cinema as it did years ago, which is why when The Mandalorian came out and things like this were happening, it did look better, which is great. But I feel like there's still a difference, and there's still it looks like a TV movie, and there's still a difference between streaming movies and cinema movies. And sometimes you get cinema movies that probably would have been better on streaming, and sometimes you get streaming movies that you go, this should have been on the big screen. Mandalorian Grogu trailer drops, and there's a lot of stuff that I like about it. But unfortunately, it's still, to me, it hit this point where I'm like, it feels to me like what my concern was. It's going to look like The Mandalorian does on TV. I'm like, if you're putting the budget into making this longer, don't make it just another episode, or don't make it 4 episodes of The Mandalorian glued together to make a 90-minute movie. Like, it needs to feel broader. It needs to feel bigger and better. And I don't know that this one delivered. There were aspects of it that did, but we've had Star Wars films that look great.
Yeah.
And
we've had
every Star Wars film has looked great, even if people didn't like the film. Everyone has looked and had moments where you're like, geez, this looks fantastic.
And one of the big things that has come from Star Wars is the advancements that they've made in CGI and practical
and look,
effects.
The Mandalorian was partially responsible for the volume.
Yes.
Or was responsible for the volume. So Star Wars continued to advance technology
Most definitely,
with this particular property. But
there's parts in it. There's an AT-AT crash.
Yep, falling
over. However we want to do it. Even that just didn't feel like a big screen.
See, for me, I disagree. That was one of the moments that I looked at and I said, okay, that feels like something that will look great on the big screen, which I look forward to. Again, seeing play out on the big screen. I just think some of the puppeteering stuff with Grogu, which is fine for the TV, looks lame.
I must admit, I'm happy that there's puppeteering, because I don't like when they go full CGI.
I like that there's puppeteering, but I think the puppeteering always felt awkward.
Yes, there's one part in the trailer where there's another puppeteer part that not animal. What are we calling it? Being that walks through a drain or something in the back, in the back. And I was watching it, I was like, that looks off. Like, it doesn't look right. And it doesn't even look right for puppeteering, within the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
It looks, I was like, there's a person doing that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is still early. There are still a lot of elements. I have heard things that they're pretty happy at Disney with the way that this movie is coming together.
Yep.
I've heard rumors that they're expecting that it'll be big, and when it's big, they're really keen to greenlight a second and a third one and continue telling this story in this platform, and continue building out this era of the Star Wars universe, which, look, you've got Bo-Katan, you've got Ahsoka, you've got all these characters, you've got Ahsoka telling the story of the Rebels TV series. So all of this stuff that could tie in, that could make it feel bigger and broader and better stakes.
Yeah.
What they've shown us in this first teaser feels like the sort of Western, solo stories. Mandalorian has to go and do this. Then Mandalorian has to go and do this. Then it doesn't feel like an overall arc. It feels like they've given us 4 episodes.
Yes. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest issues. So
if that's what they do, I don't know that that's the story.
On the opposite side to you, I'm not less of a Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Love the movies. I watched, I think, the first season of Mandalorian, maybe fell out of the second season, just got a bit bored and was like, oh, whatever. Haven't watched any of the other series because anytime I have seen anything for them, I'm just not impressed.
Have you seen Rebels or Clone Wars?
No.
Right.
Oh, bits and pieces of Clone Wars.
Yeah, okay.
So
Clone Wars is one of those ones where I think it adds a lot of lore. It's very good.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of stuff to sort of get through before it hits this, where it starts to really add lore to it. I can understand if you haven't seen much Clone Wars and thus aren't really familiar with Ahsoka as a character, and then you haven't seen Rebels, Ahsoka is essentially a Rebels sequel.
Though.
Yeah, I mean, Ahsoka's a character that... But if you haven't seen a lot of Clone Wars, then...
It's not going to be as big of a deal.
There's no impact. You don't... It's like saying, okay, well, I'm watching the prequels, and I have never heard of Darth Vader, so I don't understand. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, cool. I see that he's becoming this villain, but I don't understand the villain he's becoming. But also Rebels adds a lot of context, adds these characters. That becomes something that's really important. So then the Ahsoka series adds to that and builds on Rebels in live action. But on top of that is supposed to be part of what's going into The Mandalorian and that whole universe. So they're trying to build, like, The Mandalorian and Grogu is essentially supposed to be all of these series that they've set within this era, Boba Fett, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, all of that all sort of linchpin in all of that, like a finalizing those stories. Which is fantastic.
I think one of the things that happened with Mandalorian was obviously Grogu. Big turning point. Baby Yoda.
Yep.
As it essentially started off,
yep,
everyone went wild for Baby Yoda.
Yep.
And I think they're still capitalizing on that when it's not the story we need.
Yeah.
I think they're still kind of using that as a bit of a jumping board to be like, come and see this movie. And I think people have lost it to an extent. The big thing from the trailer for me was like some of those action scenes, there's no scale. Why am I looking down at an AT-AT? Like, I should be looking up at that thing crashing towards me. It should feel big.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of it feels like TV kind of, we've got cameras everywhere in this galaxy and we can do anything. And then another big thing for me was the title looks terrible.
The logo.
The logo, it looks terrible. It looks like a TV show. It came on and it reminded me of, was it called Scarlet Witch, the TV series? No.
WandaVision.
WandaVision. It reminded me of the like fake WandaVision titles.
Yeah, right.
It feels like a TV title, and I'm like,
okay.
I just felt like they're not putting a movie out.
Yeah.
I feel like they're.
I guess it'll just be like, it'll be one of those ones that we need to see more of, more trailers.
Oh,
as a teaser, this didn't scream cinema to me, but.
Like if you
seeing
compare
more
that
Star Wars
trailer
on the big screen, I'm excited about, but it didn't scream cinema from a visual perspective.
Yeah.
It screamed like, okay, we're going to watch The Mandalorian, but on the big screen, which, whatever, I'll go see it.
Yeah, like compare that trailer to The Force Awakens first teaser.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Yeah.
I'm going to see one of those movies.
Yeah. What I will say regarding Baby Yoda, Grogu, all of that, if you haven't seen the latest season of Mandalorian and where the whole sort of process goes and the fact that Grogu has met with Luke Skywalker, found that he's Force sensitive and had to choose between...
Oh, most definitely.
Becoming a Jedi and following the Mandalorian and decide... And like seeing how his story's actually played out, I am interested in seeing where it goes because we're seeing elements of that. But yeah, it'll be one of those ones... I'm not against seeing it on the big screen. I want to see more. I hope we see more scale. I hope we see more impact from it because at the moment, the teaser just says to me, we're watching The Mandalorian on the big screen.
Yes.
Which, okay.
Disney has lost my trust on a lot of their TV series. TV series mainly, some of their movies as well, but TV series mainly, I just feel like they get an episode or two out and they're like, yeah, we've got great reviews, and then it just goes
yeah.
Unfortunately, and they've done it with their two biggest IPs of Marvel and Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a recurring pattern, and Mandalorian seems to be one of the outliers that I've heard great things about the whole way through. Like I said, I've watched probably half of it, and from the outside looking in is what I'm saying with the whole Grogu thing and a lot of capitalizing on that. But I just hope that they continue that, and then once we see more, we'll have a better idea. But from the teaser, I don't think it hit as well as it could have.
Yeah, absolutely, and particularly not to distract from other news.
No, it did not distract well
Actually,
enough.
no, I disagree. It did distract from other news, probably not the way that they wanted.
Yes.
Anyway, that is the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see it regardless, but we'll see how it goes. Quick confession here. this is my cinema confession. I think this may have been my first Paul Thomas Anderson film.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I've ever seen another one of his. And
what other ones?
Yeah, well, I didn't see Licorice Pizza. I was going back through looking at some of his movies, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen these.
Did he do? He did Phantom Thread. He did Licorice Pizza.
Let's have a look.
Let's get a list up because I'm sure I've seen at least one of them.
Right. So, yep, Phantom Thread. He did. Yeah. He did a lot of Radiohead. He did a lot of...
yeah, I think I was going to say he's one of the directors that came up through music
There Will
videos.
Be Blood. That's one that I've always wanted to watch.
The Master I've seen.
There Will Be Blood. I always wanted to watch that, never got around to it.
Yeah.
Punch Drunk Love.
That's the other one.
Another
with
one.
Sandler.
Yep, with Sandler that I've always wanted to watch. Boogie Nights. So, like, there's a lot of films that I'm like, oh, I've wanted to watch this. Why haven't I watched these movies? But I just never saw one.
He is a very interesting director and I think has a lot of praise around him for the films he's directed. There's a lot of big pivotal movies there. Like Boogie Nights was I've never seen it, but I know of it as a very pivotal movie that changed a lot of cinema. The Master was a really interesting one. And then taking that actually from The Master and relating it back to what we just saw with One Battle After Another, the commentary on present day happenings and present day politics and things like that. The Master was very heavily not taking stabs, but kind of taking stabs at Scientology.
Yeah, okay.
And it is built around, like people will be like, yep, that's the Scientology movie. So it kind of opens the doors and goes, this is what's actually going on. And then we saw that with this, with a lot of corruption, I guess is probably the best way to put it without diving too much into that.
Absolutely.
And it's just reminded me of the absolute hilarity of the name of...
Oh my God, it made me so happy. The Christmas Adventurers Club.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Hail St. Nick.
Hail St. Nick. Oh man.
Absolutely
so
brilliant.
funny.
But it is a great commentary on the current political landscape. Not to get into politics, but it really does a great job of it, of saying, these are the people that you supposedly trust, and this is the type of stuff that they're doing behind closed doors.
Brilliant.
And he does a great job of that. Yeah, I think it's perfect.
Oh, well, I definitely liked it in this, and I think it's going to be one of those things that it's going to have to be something that I start pushing now. That I start going, all right, I've got to go back and see these. I've got to go back, watch...
It makes me want to go back and watch some of those ones as well.
Give it a go.
And like a lot of those movies have been up for Oscars and stuff. Like he's a great director. One of the...
Well, he's proven it to me here.
Yes, it definitely has.
That is the end of our podcast for the week. We saw One Battle After Another. We loved it. And spoke movie news. We hope you enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say. What else am I going to say?
What else are you going to say? You're going to say, when you're at the movies, there is no bad seats.
There are no bad seats when you're at the movies. Thank you for joining us, as always. Check us out on Spotify. Tell your friends. Yeah. Check us out on YouTube, anywhere that you get your podcasts. You don't have to look at our faces. You can.
Yeah, you can just listen to us.
But you can just listen to us if you're driving. And we'll see you at the movies.
We'll see you there.